I don't have all the lights on. Well, let me just gonna turn them all on like I usually do anyway. Um, I just got up 45 minutes ago and I am still half asleep, but here we are. I do have some Mountain Dew here, about this much. I haven't sipped any of it yet. I have had my oatmeal and Vietnamese cinnamon, and I had some water. So that's all I had so far. Tonight, if that sounds strange to any of you, I am nocturnal. So I'm up early in the morning. After midnight is the next day. So I go to sleep usually between like 4 and 6 in the morning and get up in the evening unless I have something to do, and then I'll set my alarm, get up, go do it, and then go back to bed. So anyway, let's do the intro. Hey, Tanya. Oh no, I hope you're resting and staying hydrated. I want to do the intro, give YouTube time to notify people if they are going to do such a thing, because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But we're going to do the intro, and then we're going to get into why we're here, which is to do looks with both of these palettes. Natasha Denona Circo Loco Beauty Face Off against MAC Connecting Color Hi-Fi Eyeshadow Palette. So hello and welcome. My name is Dion and my lips are dry. I'm putting on City Beauty lip oil. I call this the crazy troll nation. The crazy knowing it's okay to be your authentic self in a world where people will tell you who and how you should be. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use the brand that they say you do, the same techniques that they do, and the same tools that they use. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Hey, Janet. The bottom line here, I don't know about anywhere else on YouTube, but here we are about accepting our features, accepting our natural features, embracing them, and enhancing them only if we want to, never feeling like we have to because of something somebody said or because we want to look like somebody else. You are you and you are amazing. So just know that. So love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even when you're not wearing face paint. Two things about me. I curse sometimes because I curse. I was rubbing my neck. Janet, look at that. So close to Bruce's home. And there's an organism in here named Bruce that lives in my throat that randomly hiccups, gurgles, and belches. I'm going to put some cream on that. Hold on one second. I'm grabbing my lotion. So Bruce wants to be known. He wants to hiccup, gurgle, and belch randomly. And I do try to be aware of it to say, excuse me. So if you do hear something and I don't say excuse me, forgive me ahead of time, because sometimes I am not aware of it for whatever reason, and then when I watch it back on YouTube, I'm like, girl, you ain't hear that or feel that in your throat. No, I did not. So just know this is just regular lotion. Well, not regular, it's Coty lotion, and I've talked about before, and it does help soothe my skin. But the oil I was talking about, antihistamine cream, not oil, antihistamine cream is in my bathroom that I'm not going to get up to go get. So this is what we have right here. So that's what we used. Hello and welcome to everyone who popped in. I see the numbers going up. Tonight we're going to be using Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette against MAC Connecting Color Hi-Fi Color Palette. And this is a beauty face-off. And I think when I change the title, when I take off the Ms. Dion's live part, I think I'm going to put Vlogmas 1. And so I think we have 4 or 5 of these scheduled out, the beauty face-offs. So those will be our Vlogmas videos, or the beauty face-offs. And so I thought about that during one of my wake-ups today. Eating blueberries and grapes and drinking water. That is awesome. You can have all the blueberries, Tanya. They break me out in hives. You can have every single one of the blueberries. Work home today. That helped good. Good. Better than 2 days ago. Right now I'm lingering cough face because I'm old. You are not old. Are you older than me, Tanya? I'm 55. Every time I cough hard, you know what happens. Either you pass gas or you tinkle. One of the two. I don't have any brushes or anything out. My eyes are still tearing as they do when I first wake up. I'm debating whether or not to even do my brows with the pencil because I was thinking of putting color in my brows. So I don't know yet, but I know I need to start something. Hey, Janessa. So this is what Circo Loco looks like. Let me hold this way. This is what Circo Loco looks like. And Circo Loco in English means crazy circus. So when people are like, oh, it's chaotic and blah, 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 it's called the crazy circus, y'all, okay? And I do really enjoy this palette. I've done over 20 looks with this palette as far as I know, because it inspires me, because it is so different than most palettes that are out there. So this is what that looks like. Hey, Griffin, how are you? And this is the MAC Cosmetics Connect and Color Hi-Fi palette. And so you see why we're battling these, and because the color stories are similar. And I had this on my mind to do a while ago, and I just never got to it. And so now we are getting to it. And so they both have like a blue, a pink, I don't know. I said a blue, purple, a green, these two, but you can probably tell when I put them on which is which, those two shades. Or is that more like this one? No, it's more like this one. So I'm not going to tell you which palette is on which eye. And so while I'm doing the look, you're going to let me know which eye do you think is which. So how are we going to do that? Because this is my right, which is probably your left. This is my left, which is probably your right. So how we'll do this is, oh no. This is the left side. My kitchen's over there. If y'all been here, y'all know that. And if you are new here, like, you don't know, you're like, girl, why are you sitting next to your kitchen? Because that's where my makeup station is at. Darn it. Hey yo, I forgot you was from Camden. I remember that now. And I was like, hey neighbor. You hanging out with your new puppy. Hope you're feeling well tonight. I am still half asleep tonight. I just got up at 7:15, so I'm just like, I don't even know what's happening. For all I know, this could be a dream. Maybe I'm off to see the wizard or something. I got swept up in a tornado, but I am here. I slept really good. I slept a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday I didn't sleep well. This eye is tearing. This eye is tearing. I was having bizarre dreams yesterday. And it threw off my sleep. And it's almost like lucid dreaming, but not quite. And when I have intense dreams like that, it feels like I'm actually awake. And so even though I am sleeping, I don't feel rested at all. I don't feel like I've slept. And so, but that was yesterday, but I did sleep well today. Hey, Grace. So putting on concealer. I did catch, excuse me if you heard Bruce in my throat just now. I'm trying to think, did I catch one of Janessa's live today in one of my wake ups? I think I saw that she was on, and so I watched that. But I don't know if that was yesterday or today. Excuse me. There go Bruce again. There go Bruce. Looking at the comments. Let me put this on all messages. It defaults to top messages, which I cannot stand, because how are they to tell me like what's important? I want to see all the messages in the order they come in, actually, as well, not just they just post stuff whenever. You received the new Giuseppe fragrance today called pecan pie or pecan. How do y'all say that word? Some people say pecan, some people say pecan. I don't say either because I don't eat it. I don't like it. But how do y'all pronounce? Bruce need to start paying rent or get double billing. The thing is, though, Bruce don't make no money. So, I mean, that's a really good idea, though. Yeah, Bruce don't make no money. He just there. You say pecan, says Janet. And I'm sure I've tried it. It just looks weird to me. And my uncle that passed away a couple years ago, no, it wasn't even. It was a little over a year ago. He told me once that I eat with my eyes. Because I was telling him about something, and I was like, the way it looked, I was just like, ugh. He was like, you eat with your eyes. And I had never thought about it till he said that. But yeah, he's right. It just looks weird to me. But I'm sure I had to have tried it, or at least the crust, because people who make stuff and they just insist that it's the best thing ever, they're like, oh, you got to try this. Like, this is so good. So I'm sure I did. But I don't remember. But I do know I don't like it. Whether the taste or how it looks, I don't know. I just know I don't like it. I know that's weird. I know my issues. I'm a strange troll. I know. So Tanya says she said both on however comes out of her mouth. That's how I am with the word coupon. Because I used to say coupon, and somebody asked me where I was from, and they said certain regions in the United States says coupon, and other regions of the United States says coupon. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting, because I had never thought about it. I grew up just calling them coupons. But then when I thought about it, because y'all know I be thinking of things, when I thought about it, even how it's spelled C-O-U, which is coup, not Q. Like Q-U something. You know what I mean? And so that's when I started saying coupon, because it's not a Q. And sometimes I will say it. I will say coupon still just based on habit. So for me to say coupon, I have to be aware of what I'm saying. My eyes, both of them, are still tearing, and it is just because Janet says coupon. When I first wake up, my eyes do tear for a while. Hopefully I stop soon, what my makeup is just going to be looking like. My eyes have been teary. I just don't try food. I don't care who is offering it. I think I may not like, or no, I won't, whether I've had it before or not. I just do not want it or not at all. If I don't know the person, like potlucks, I'm really like, who made that? Like, if I'm at a potluck, I'll go to somebody I know, and I'm like, come here for a minute. I want to ask you something. I'll be like, that right there, like, do you know who made that? And are they smokers, and do they have pets? And they be looking at my noses. Because some people, they allow their pets to be walking across their kitchen counters and their tables. And if they smoke, like, how I know they're not like a Peggy Bundy and it's like ashes in the sauce or something. You know what I mean? So sometimes if they know who the person is that made it, they'll be like, oh, yeah, they're a good cook. No, they don't smoke. They don't, have pets. They don't let their pets in the kitchen, yada, 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 yada. And sometimes they be like, you wouldn't want to eat that. And I'm like, oh, okay, good looking out, cuz. Like, damn, it's like that. They be like, you don't want to eat that. I'll be like, alrighty then. Yes, but I am really, if I don't know who made stuff, I'm like, I'm really questioning, like, my life choices. And then, of course, if it's something creamy, like, okay, did they use a lot of milk? Or if it's a cold salad, like potato salad, I'm looking to see if it has eggs in it, because my stomach doesn't want to process eggs. So there's like a whole thing that goes on when I'm looking at food, and I don't know like where it came from or who made it. But yeah, so that's me. So this is the Fashion Fair powder. I kind of feel like skipping the rest of the face because I just want to get these looks done. I feel like I am rushing, and I believe I'm feeling that way. One, because I didn't do my brows, which I did have in my mind to do before the live started, because that takes me a few minutes. But I know y'all aren't rushing me, and y'all never do, which I appreciate. Face dry. Disgusting story, says Janet. I went to a friend home for Thanksgiving some years ago, and several pieces of pumpkin pie, and there was a hair on it, so I couldn't eat it. The friend was embarrassed because I wouldn't eat it. Let me tell you this. I was at a baby shower, and it was held, where was it? In a community hall or a church basement, something. And somebody brought in a cake, and it was a huge sheet cake. And I was like, oh, that looks really pretty. It was all decorated and everything. And then I kept looking at it. I said to a friend of mine, I was like, is that coconut? Because y'all know how coconut looks like shavings. And so like around the edges, well, all over the top, because of course the icing was white, and then it was like pink and yellow, whatever, for the decorations on the cake. And I was like, is that coconut? I don't like the taste of coconut either. So that's why I was like, and she looked at it, she was like, D. She said, that's hair. She said, that's pet hair. So it was like, I don't know if it was a cat or a dog. And so I'm like, well, how can we find out, like, if this person got pets? And so she was like, oh, I'm going to ask so-and-so because they know who made this cake. So they went over, and then she came back to me. She was like, so and so has cats, and we're looking at the cake like it was like a sheet of hair over the whole entire cake. And the only reason I noticed it because I was like, is that coconut? Because I could see like the little pieces. It turned out it was cat hair over the whole fucking cake. And nobody else really noticed. So me and her didn't eat it. But other people, they was cutting the cake, eating the cake. And we're looking at them like, and I kept trying to fix my face. Y'all know my face be speaking for me. So I would be like, oh, motherfuckers eating cat hair. It looked disgusting. Janet, yo, I was just like, and if you have cat hair like that all over your stuff and you don't notice it, that means you're used to seeing it everywhere. When I worked at JJPI in Philadelphia, I can always tell, and we didn't have our own offices. And so whoever was in that day, you know, you picked your office you were going to use. And if you're not working the next day, somebody else will sit in that office. I always knew when a certain dude sat in my, well, I called it my office, but it wasn't. I always knew when a certain person sat in my office because it would be white hair all over the back of the chair. And even when he would come in, if I would see him, he had on a black coat, it would be white hair all over it. And I'm just like, dude, that's in my mind. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. So I always knew when he sat in my chair, in my office, because it would be white hair over the back of the chair, the arm of the chair. And I'd just be like, yo, that is gross. Crazy they still brought it with it. I don't think they noticed it. Just like I don't think he noticed that he was leaving hair everywhere. Like I knew who sat, and I'm like, was so-and-so here yesterday? I'm like, yeah, how you know? And I'm like, his coat. And they're like, oh, the cat hair? I'm like, yup. So everybody knew. But it was so natural to him and normal for him. Because I would think, okay, if I'm sitting in your chair and I'm leaving whatever, I'm going to bring like one of those little rolling sticky things to get the hair. I'm going to clean up before I leave. To him, it was no big deal. And it was disgusting looking. So I'd be walking around trying to find one of them little brooms, one of them little handheld brooms to clean off my chair before I sat in it. Because I'm like, I'm not going to sit in this chair and then I'm going to have all this on my clothes. And I have allergies against pets. And so I'm like, I don't want to sit in this. And then I'm dealing with allergic reactions all day. And then track it home. And then it's in my car because it's on my clothes. I used to be so annoyed. Yeah, but I don't think they noticed it. Because it was white and the icing was white. But I was just like, what's them flakes? Like, what are those things? Is that coconut? Nope, it wasn't coconut. No, ma'am, sir, ma'am. Yes, I don't eat everybody cooking. Even if it look good, if I don't know what it is, or if something look off, I'm not eating it. And if they want to be insistent, I'll say, oh, maybe I'll get some later. Cause y'all know how it is. Maybe, I don't know. When you go somewhere to eat, like if it's at somebody's house or like a family dinner or a celebration, you know, you'll eat and then like a couple hours later, you'll go get seconds or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I'll probably try it later. And then in my mind, I'm like, you're a liar. You know you're going to try that. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I ain't going to try it. But, yeah, that was the worst I've seen. I was like, that is disgusting. And people was eating it. And then I'm like, can't you feel the hair in your mouth? For a long time growing up, I didn't eat peaches because I didn't like how they felt fuzzy. And I forgot all about that memory. But I'm thinking, like, wouldn't you notice there's a certain texture to the cake that ain't like normal icing? Like, wouldn't it be like, what is this? I don't know. Yeah, people were eating it. Some were and some wasn't because it was a large sheet cake. And less than half, maybe like a third of it was gone by the time we left. So a lot of people wasn't eating it. But, so a lot of people were, well, not even a lot. Less than half the group ate it because it was only like a third missing. And it was a large sheet cake. And y'all know people be taking some cake. And then they be like, can I take some home? Nah. But the ones who was eating it, I was like, did y'all really look at that? She did snitch, Tanya. She told a person that we were both cool with that was like, oh, that cake looked good. And she was like, and I'm like, I wonder if she said something. So then the other person was like, she looked at the cake again and walked away. I'm like, okay, she must have told her don't eat the cakes that can't with it. But I was just like, how Some people nasty, that's all. But they don't realize it, that's the thing. They don't realize it. But people I know that's sanitary and they're a good cook, I be all over it. If my neighbor texts me, or she be like, oh, I made such and such, I be like, I'm on my way. I be like, I'll be right there, like 5 minutes. She be like, okay. Where she may text me and be like, oh, I made such and such. I know you sleep and I'm gonna bring up a plate. I be like, okay. But other people I don't know, where I know that they're nasty, in my opinion, nah. For Thanksgiving, my neighbor asked me, oh, I'm having Thanksgiving dinner. She said, you want me to bring your plate like last year? And I was surprised last year. I heard a knock on my door. And I'm like, who this? It was her. And she said, do you want to come down? I said, I'll come down. I said, you're only one floor below me. I said, I'll come down. And so I had dinner at her place with her and her mom. So that was really nice. Just really small, intimate. Good the food, y'all. Oh, my gosh. It was really good. I'm going to leave my brows like this. This side is further this way than this one. But we're going to leave them alone because it's as good as going to get today. So, my eyes. I want my eyes to stop tearing. The typos. I'll be the snitch. I'll be quietly going around to peeps. But see, the thing is, I ain't know everybody. And so, like, I ain't going to go to somebody I don't know and be like, oh, that cake is heroin. And then they go back and tell somebody else. And then they tell the person who bought the cake. I'm like, I ain't trying to be in the middle of no drama. I just won't eat it. The friend I was with, she knew more people than me. So she was the one that did snitch and was like, yo, don't eat that cake. And it was only like 1 or 2 people. I had some shimmery lotion, says Janet. I put it on my kegs one morning before work. I wear dresses. I don't know what kegs are. I'm thinking of like the beer, but I know you're not carrying beer to work. Glitter embedded in my car seat, which is leather and empty fabric. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what kegs are. Is it footwear? Oh, on your legs. Okay, got it. I'm trying to get this to stop tearing before I start the eyeshadow. So I'm not going to tell y'all which is which. I'm going to show y'all again. Y'all might be able to figure it out by the formulas maybe. Y'all have seen, if y'all been here for a while, you've seen me use both of these palettes. And so this is what, I'm trying to get the glares off. So this is what they look like on your legs. Janet got nice legs, y'all. She wearing dresses and showing her legs. I have never been a dress person, like for real. I've always been just like comfort. And at a point, there was a time in my life where I decided, because of community and religious pressures, that I decided I was going to try and be a little more feminine. I've always been a tomboy. Most of my friends was always dudes. Less pettiness, in my opinion, but so I decided I was going to start wearing dresses and blouses and shoes and skirts, and that didn't last long. It lasted maybe a year and a half. Y'all, all of my Esom brushes stained the last look that I did, but I know I can get it out. When I did the, actually it was the Neon Garden and it was your look, Janet. Neon Garden and that Lethal palette. Lethal does stain these brushes, but I can get it out. I just need to put some more work into it. But I'm like, all of these are green. And I ain't feel like messing with it too much at the time, so that's why they still look like this. But Esom does do that. Esom? Not the Esom. Lethal. So I'm taking out 6 of those. I'm taking out 2 of these. We're going to take out 2 E45s. Hopefully these are all the brushes that I will need if we're going to use those. I keep pulling out the E49s. I need to get in touch with Grace to see if she wants to swap me her E45s for the E49s. So that's these 2. And the lower lash line, excuse me. Yeah, them Lethal shades. Even these, look at that, green. And that's how I know what palette it was. And I haven't done a look since then either. So we're going to take out 2 of these for lower lash line. Are you done tearing? Dresses are lazy wear for me. They're all pullovers. Yeah. I hate shimmer lotion. Gets everywhere. Yeah, it was easy, but I just... Because then I got to sit a certain way. And I'm just like, look, I just want to just chill. Like, I don't want to... Yeah, that didn't last long. And it wasn't me. I've always been, dressed for comfort. And so I was trying something new because of pressures from, as I said, society and religion, trying to be something I wasn't. And that's what the issue was. And that's why it didn't stick. And that's why it was frustrating for me. Yeah, so I'm back to my jeans. Yeah, it lasted maybe a year and a half. That's when Dress Barn was still open. And their clothes fit me really well. But they closed down probably 10 years ago now, however many years ago. But yeah, so I would get a lot of stuff from Dress Barn. I still have some stuff from Dress Barn. Some of their shirts, couple pair of pants, couple pair of jeans. Dress Barn was expensive, but it was quality stuff. I still have jeans from the Gap that I bought probably 20 years ago. Like, seriously. Like, when stuff, I don't mind paying more money, especially if there's a coupon. If I know it's quality, because it's going to last me. It's not fast fashion. It's going to last me for a very long time. I used to love wearing dresses, but it was in... And, yeah. And that's something I used to think about, Tanya, because I know, like, eons ago, there was an issue with women being attacked on the trains in the city, in Manhattan. But this was eons ago. And I used to think, like, okay, can y'all stop wearing skirts? And I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying that. But I used to always think of how that is easy access for somebody to just come up behind you and just, like, slip their hand up your shirt up your skirt or something like that. Yeah, that is a thing. It is a thing. And it's unfortunate because if you look back to like the 30s and 40s, the women, nobody was tolerating a woman wearing pants. It was just skirts and dresses. But yeah, there was a hazard to that too. But and my thing with that, even now, like who said, even in movies, it irritates me. I let it irritate me. You have this woman working in some corporate office, and the men are just wearing like flat shoes, raggedy pants, don't even wear a suit jacket, and then the women are in there wearing skirts and like stilettos. Why are you wearing stilettos to work? Like, are you here for eye candy for your male counterparts, or are you here to do a job? Which is it? Hey, Sansaray! I'm over here running my mouth, completely missed you, and I still don't see you. Hey, Sylvia. Dresses came in handy in countries with sink in the floor toilets. Popping in about to pick up my older desk. Okay, thank you for popping in. You miss wearing them. Funny how things stick. Yeah, I was never skirts and girl, I can't walk in them either. And I never could walk in heels. Like because I always hung around dudes, and so it was always like sneakers and boots, right? So you put me in a pair of 3-inch heels, I'm walking like Whoopi Goldberg. And people told me that. They were like, you walk like Whoopi Goldberg. If y'all ever see her with heels on, that's how I walked in heels. Even if they was like 3 inches. Like I was looking straight. Cray. Yeah. And I don't know how you do it. You ain't gonna tell me I gotta walk on my toes to walk in a pair of shoes and then my ankles be feeling like they're gonna break. Nah. No. We're gonna get started with these palettes. I'm not gonna say what's where. We're going to go light to dark. You can't do heels unless it's a chunky heel. I can't do any at all. And once I broke my second to the pinky toe on my left foot, I couldn't wear heels at all. Because where it broke, where my bone broke was diagonal. Like if this is my foot, this is the second to the last toe, second to the pinky toe. It broke on a diagonal. And so it healed that way. So anytime I'm wearing any type of heel and my foot was like this, it would aggravate that joint, or even walking up and down steps a lot. The top of my foot would get swollen because of that. So after that, I'm like, well, not even kitten heels for me. Thank you. Because I ain't want to wear them anyway. But, yeah, I can't wear any. And that's fine with me because I be telling y'all, jeans and Skechers. So we have the first color down. Y'all may or may not know which side is what. But we done got started with the look. So yeah, these will be my Vlogmas looks. because some people do actually search for the word Vlogmas in videos. I think I want to do something else too. Let me try this. Hey, Dawn. Dawn, I meant to message you again. Yeah, stability for sure. Oh, when we were talking about movies last night, I meant to text you to remind you about Troll and Troll 1 that's on Netflix. Is it Netflix? Or is it on 2? I think it's on Netflix. I don't know. It's one of those two. Because I remember you had said that that's your mom's kind of show. And that would be cool too. Like, and it's a show where you don't have to watch them in order, because they do backtrack a little bit, just a little bit. Well, they did talk about like what happened. I mean, I don't have another one of them brushes. You was hiding. Here we go. It was hiding from me. But I did rewatch the first Troll one day, and then the next day I watched Troll 2. But if y'all just watch the second one, you're not going to miss anything. I mean, it was still interesting, but as far as the storyline, you're not going to miss anything in the storyline. We watched so many different things today. I wanted to watch Smile, but apparently this house doesn't pay a lot for services like Peacock. Why do I think I saw Smile somewhere, like on a platform? Excuse me. So we have 2 colors down. Excuse me. Bruce is showing off. He done had some oatmeal, now he's showing off. Yeah, Bruce needs to move out. He needs to be evicted. My conclusion is that I eat too fast because I be trying to scarf stuff down before the live stream. So these other brushes I put in the middle because... So the brushes for this side are over here. The ones for this side will be over here. But I have them all on one side. So I'm going to split them up. So I don't accidentally use the wrong brushes. I'm going to have a lot of brushes to wash if I use all of these. Alright, so you already got it, Dion, from the first color, I think. Oh, you're talking about the eye. I'm thinking movies. Like, what color movie? It's about the palettes. Damn. Alright, I'm looking because I'm trying to see what kind of might look a little bit similar. I'm a fast eater too. I usually am not. Like if I'm out with friends or we're at a restaurant or something, I am the last one. Even at Academy, I'm the last one at my table to finish eating. But when I'm home, when it's time for me to do a live stream, or I should say nights when I do live streams, I eat fast because I'm trying to hurry up and just be here. The last live we started, I finished my oatmeal during the live, and I didn't want to do that tonight because I really wanted to have my brows done, but that didn't happen either. So it's only when I have a live stream that night, because I'm usually the last one. And I'm not going to say people crack on me, but they'll be like, wow, like you so neat and precise with your food, and I'm just scarfing it down. And even for Thanksgiving, it's like, you know, just cut the piece that I'm going to eat. Like if it's a steak or, you know, roast or whatever. And most people, they just like take the whole chunk up and just like bite off of it. But I'm like, you know, I cut stuff up. Everything is in its own little place, and don't mix up the foods and all of that stuff. And they be like, you're really precise with it. And I'm like, oh. And when I was younger, this is not going to be that color. When I was younger, I used to, like, if I was having a steak, like, I would cut the whole steak up into bite-sized pieces. Before I would even eat it, I would cut everything. Whatever it was, meatloaf, whatever, I would cut all of it up in bite-sized pieces. And somebody had told me my Aunt Harriet used to do that, too, where she would cut everything up. That way, when she started to eat, she can just eat and not have to cut anything. And then I heard, and y'all let me know if this is true or not, because I really don't know, that proper etiquette when eating is you just cut the piece that you're going to eat versus cutting up like the whole thing. And so I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounded true to me. And so I started doing that. I'll just cut a piece, that's the piece I eat. Cut the next piece, that's the piece I eat. So let me know, is that true? Like, have y'all heard that? Because I really don't know. But it sounded like, okay. For some reason, I was able to picture that being true. And I don't know why. So we're just blending these two colors together. Yeah, cut as you go, says Janet. Okay, because that sounded true for me. And I'm like, why does that sound like it would be true for me? Like, I don't know. I'm going to go back to this brush that had this shade. So it's going to blend. And so I started, yeah, if I'm eating a steak, just cut the piece I'm going to eat. The little bite-sized piece, put the fork and knife down, put my hands on my lap. And that's what takes me so long, because a lot of people, when they eat, unless it's a sandwich, they just cut their piece, eat it, and they keep their hands on the table. I'll cut my piece, eat, put it in my mouth, eat it, and I put my hands in my lap. And so there's like a lot of downtime when I'm eating, as far as like how I'm positioned, because then you gotta come up, cut it, put the piece in, and so that might be why it takes me longer. I don't know. And if something's good, I'm not gonna talk a lot. People be like, da, 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 and I'm like, keep talking, I'm listening, I'm eating. Yeah, these are not the same colors. Let me try something. Awesome, Janet. My company is closed from the 24th to the 2nd. I'm looking forward to that. So that's paid in addition to any other vacation we take usually. Also, when you cut with your dominant hand, you will eat the piece of food with your... And I do that. I really do that. And I've seen some people, like, they'll cut it, and then they'll switch the fork over to the other hand. I don't do that. And so, yeah, I don't do that. But I've seen people do it. I don't do that. Because it's like, why? I mean, it don't take much with my left hand to just be like, cut it. Like, it don't take much. So it's like, why, you know. But I have seen people do that. And I'm just like, okay. It's not for me to say. Eat however you're comfortable. Because when I cut it, thank you. When I cut it, I want to eat it. So I'm like, I ain't trying to take more time. Yeah, but it's just here when I have live streams, when I just be like scarfing down oatmeal or scarfing down Bolthouse Farms. I'm having shrimps and rice and vegetables for dinner. The vegetables was a afterthought. And those I cook from frozen, so they don't need to be thawed. But I took shrimps out this morning. Shrimp. Even if it's more than one, it's still a shrimp. I took out some and put it in a Ziploc bag. I just realized I didn't do bronzer, blush, or highlighter because I'm thinking I have some fallout, but it'll be camouflaged by the highlighter. And I'm like, I didn't put on highlighter. We are getting an etiquette lesson tonight. So often necessary. Excuse me. These are not the same either. Looking at these palettes and looking at the looks, like they are similar though. That middle shade got eaten up. Let's go back to that middle shade. This one that was right here. Yeah, this one got eaten up. I think maintenance is on vacation because there's a slow leak under my sink. And I did put in a work order like 3 days ago. I have not heard anything, and that is really okay. I have like a little tote under there because under my sink I had a storage tote thing, and that's what I would keep my cleaning supplies in. And I noticed one day that it was wet around the tote thing, and I'm like, what? So I looked at it. Yeah, it was water in it. It was like a 1/4 inch of water in it. And outside the tote, there was some water. And I had a box of the Beauty Bio eye patches. And I could tell where the water had ran up on the side. Because when it absorbs and then it kind of just runs up. And so I took all the stuff out of the tote. Cleaned up the water that was underneath it and around it. And I put the tote back. So the tote is there to catch the water, and it's paper towels under the tote. So if something is leaking outside the tote, I'll be able to see it. And I have not heard peep from them, but it's not messy or anything at all. I didn't mean to pick up that brush. And so yeah, that was like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and now it's maybe 1 inch of water inside of the tote. So wherever it's leaking from, and it is a very slow leak, because to have like less than 1 inch of water after like 3 days, that's not a serious leak. And And the tote is like this high. And so it's like this much water at the bottom. And it's not outside of the tote. So I'm just leaving it positioned exactly where it is. So this is pretty. So I'm just leaving the tote where it is. I like both of these though. Let me go back to this brush. Because this side looks further in. And I haven't had shrimps in a long time, so it's going to be a good dinner tonight. I'm going to make rice with it. Okay. I like the blend. I like the blend on both sides, actually. So what am I going to do now? You dated 2 guys in my life where it was cringy to eat across the table from them. With sometimes, what was they doing? And you don't get too judging as a person chooses their mouth open. Fucking mouth breathers. What the hell? So what were they doing? That it was cringy eating across from them. I'm thinking of a scene in the movie Pretty Woman, and it was something she was trying to eat, and she couldn't get it on a fork, and so it was just like going all over. And then the guy next to her, he saw her and looked at her, and then he just picked it up with the fork and just started eating off of it or something. And so then she looked at him and smiled, and so she did the same thing. And I really appreciated that, because sometimes, like, if somebody's having trouble, you know, eating or whatever, instead of being like, no, do it this way, that way, you know, he just met her where she was and did a thing. And so that was like their little connection point or whatever. Let me know if y'all know what I'm talking about. The movie Pretty Woman. Your previous boyfriend before I got married had some habits that we resolved. How he held his utensils. Oh, like this. Did he used to be in jail? Or the military? Mouth breathing and sometimes eating with my, just no couth, no table manners. Yeah, the military, y'all, man. Yo, I hated it. Y'all, they was mean, especially in boot camp. I think they paid them to be mean to us, to be honest with you. And drill sergeants did get like $250 more per month, but for the longer hours, no, he wasn't. But for you work longer hours though, so I'm like, that's not even worth it. Like, for me, it wouldn't have been worth it. But I'm looking at these colors. Damn it, that's not going to be the same. There were like 25 of us. And this is when I was in the National Guard, when I was in training for the National Guard back in 1991. And, you know, I'm thinking now that these could be stories for the request that Locke had. Like, think of like silly stories. If I remember, I did write down something I thought about. But if I remember, I'll write this one down too. So forgive me if you are in on that live and you hear this story again. She's like, I don't think of stuff till I'm sitting here and like I'll just be flashbacking, having flashbacks of stuff. One was Navy and he would eat so fast. Yeah, like he was scared it was going to disappear. Yep. But he said he had to do it in the military and growing up because food was scarce. Yep. I asked him how he learned these habits. Went to his folks' house for dinner. It was his mom and his sister. Worse than hell. Like, not even the dad or the brother. Damn, the mom and the sister. And he had been a jail too. And so it was like 25 of us. And it's like a cafeteria line. So, you know, you pick up your tray and then you wait in line and you kind of go through and tell them what you want. They put it on your plate and blah, blah. And so they decided they wanted to be smart, the drill sergeants. And they had told us one day, when the first person gets done and gets up, everybody has to get up. And we were like, but it's like 25 of us. And because we would be so fucking hungry, like they would scarf it down. And like sometimes the last person didn't even get up to the food yet. And the first person was getting up. And so everybody had to get up. And if whoever didn't have food, they would like steal a biscuit or something off of the person's plate next to them. Or somebody would be like, here, take this piece of meat. And they would just kind of, you know, shove it in their mouth. But I'm like, that was just cruel. And so we would tell the first person, take your time. Like, we're all hungry. Take your time. Don't scarf down your food. Y'all, and they was really making us get up. And this one person, she was a female, but she was very masculine. And even like her build, and she was big too. She was tall. I'm 5'7.5". She was probably like 5'9", 5'10". And she was, I'm not gonna say she husky, but she was solid. She was just like, don't fuck with me, I'll beat your ass. But she was so sweet though. And so she was like near the end of the line. So the first person stood up, and the drill sergeant's like, everybody get up. Da, da, da. And it was spaghetti that night. How I remember this, I don't know, because it was funny as hell. That's probably why. And so she was holding her tray, eating the spaghetti, and she was walking to the trash can. And one of the drill sergeants snatched the plate off her plate. I mean, snatched her plate off the tray, and she was like trying to get the spaghetti. I'm like, that is just cool. She was trying to get every bit that she could get, and they took it from her. I was just like, damn. Because we would be so hungry, like you go in a scarf, and we'd be like, take your time and eat, take your time and eat, because all of us are hungry. But y'all, that was like, why y'all being so mean? And so yeah, Tanya, if their training was like that, or like if you're in combat, and even though it's time to eat, and your unit has downtime, if something happened, all y'all got to pop off and do what need to be done, so you don't have that. Oh well, that unit will take care of that. No, if something happened, especially if you're in combat, you got to get up and go, regardless of if it's your team or not, because everybody roll together. No soldier left behind. Everybody rolled together. And so, yeah, that's how it was. And even in training. And then maybe that's what they did that for. Like, when the first one get up, everybody get up. Like, nobody's getting left. Everybody doing the same thing at the same time. And I'm like, this is training though. Like, this ain't real. But they say play how you, what is it? I want to say train how you play, but it's not playing if you're, preparing for war or possibly going to war or combat zone. I think it was train how you fight. I think that's what it was. So your training was actually as if you were really going to combat, so that you would be prepared when or if the time came. Yeah, train how you fight. Yep. But yeah, I would be like, girl. But it would be so funny because they would be snatching her plate off her tray, and she'd be still trying to. Oh my gosh, she was still trying to get the food. And I want to say you were in alphabetical order. So my last name at the time started with a letter C. So I was like near the front. But the people in the back, I'd be like, damn. So yeah, you had to scarf it down. Yeah. And I've heard that too, what you were saying about growing up, like food is scarce. When there's not enough food. Or you're afraid it won't be enough, because there were times when like you went hungry. And so when you get it, you eat it before somebody take it from you, because everybody's hungry. So it's like, well, let me eat mine before Jim Bob come over here, because he's a bully and he'll take my food. Yeah, X wasn't that bad. People would stare at him in restaurants, embarrassing. Captain Caveman. Oh man. Yeah, y'all, training. I like this shape. This one. Let me go back to the color before that. I like this shape on the other side better. Excuse me, Bruce. You need to get out and get a job. I think they look the same. All right, let's see, what else can we do? I didn't do my inner rims. I didn't do my lash line. First thing I grabbed. I need to get off of using his a lot, but it's just so smooth though. All right, these wear out quick too because they're so creamy. Personal preference. Excuse me. We're not going to use this. Excuse me. We're not going to use that because I want to use different colors. We're going to... Aren't these the ones we used the other day? I think these are the ones we used for your look. I want to use this one for some reason. Let's switch out some of these. Thank y'all for bearing with me. We're going to take 2 browns and a yellow. One is more like a copper. All 3 of these are MAC Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliners. This one we're going to put on inner rims. He was, oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's something like when we look back and it's just like, girl, like you, but we, we learn. We learn. Because when we're younger, like we don't know that something ain't right. It's just like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? This one is Sick Tap Bro that we're going to put on inner rims. This one is Nudge Nudge Ink Ink. And this one is bananas with a hyphen in between each of the letters. I'm sorry, Tanya. I said her was not. Yeah. My first, I didn't marry manly men. Did I say that right? I did not marry manly men. They were both they were both mama's boys. That's the best way I can think to put it. And I'm thinking now it's like opposites attract because I've always had a strong personality, or so I'm told. And so dudes gravitated toward me because of my independence and because I didn't take shit. But they didn't make good husbands. The first one I suspect was cheating. The second one I know for sure. Like I had receipts, I had pictures, I had information. The first one I suspected, but I wasn't sure. The second one I knew for sure. They were both piss poor with money. And I'm like, if I'm single and never have late notices, it don't make no damn sense that we both working and we getting late notices. Like, nah, that ain't happening. And growing up the way I did, like, I do not know how to not pay a bill. And so it don't make any sense for us to be together and we both work and we getting late notices and shit. Because that ain't my life. Even in the worst times of my life, I paid my damn bills. So, yeah, but neither one of them were DV, but they were definitely, what's the word, emotionally abusive. And I would give it back because I'm like, you ain't gonna be talking to me like that. And the way I grew up was rough, so I'm like, it ain't no way in hell. If I ain't put up with this shit on the street, be damned. Yo, this is not turning up anymore. What? This is sick. It is not turning. All right, so it's turning down. But look at that little nub. It is not turning anymore. What? I'm like, the hell I'm gonna do with this in my house? It was a learning lesson that I didn't learn until the second husband, because they were the same type of dude. And I'm like, I done married the same guy. I married the same fucking type of guy. They had similar jobs, similar hobbies. Their home life was the same. I'm like, I done married the same fucking dude. I'm like, I need to figure this shit out because I ain't picking him a third time. And so I had to sit down and think about what was going on with me that I picked the same type of dude. And a lot of people do that. I'm going to put bananas on the first half. Some people do that. It's like you marry what you don't like. And even though I didn't grow up with my father, you know, him and my mom had some issues. You know, people grow up with an alcoholic father and they hate it and they marry an alcoholic, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But, and my dad, like financially, he was good. He was in the military. So that was like a guaranteed check. And child support, that was guaranteed. But physically, he just wasn't there. But, and when they be like, you know, people will tell you, like, I hated growing up with an alcoholic father, and he would beat my mom, and, you know, he would yell at me and my brothers and sisters, but then you marry an alcoholic, and it's like, that don't make sense. It does make sense. You know why? Because it's familiar. And as much as you hated it, that's what you knew. You knew what to expect. And so they don't consciously marry their dad, but like subconsciously they do, because they know what to expect. They know what's going to happen. If I get with a nice dude, like, oh my gosh, the fear of the unknown, how's he going to be? Some people are damaged goods, doesn't mean we have to fix them. Exactly. Codependent behaviors. Yep. Yeah, she's going to make it. I'll do everything I can because, yeah, we don't scrap look. Yeah, we ain't taking it all. Yeah, it's just not always. Yeah, it's not. It's not always. And some people don't realize that. They're like, well, he doesn't hit me. Girl, but he be talking to you like you a piece of shit that he scraped off his shoe that he stepped in down the street. Yeah, codependent, yeah. And sometimes this is nudge, nudge, ink, ink. And other times people will gravitate toward me because of, okay, I know I'm not the brightest person ever. I know I'm goofy as hell sometimes. But because of my education and the way my mind works, that drew some people to me as well. Like, oh, wow, she can, you know, be an asset to my life. Like, she can help me figure out my life. I'm like, look, I ain't here to fix your life. And even to this day, I'll get some messages saying, "Oh, I would really, I would really like for us to build a friendship because I'm interested in, y'all know I'm in the alternative community, because I'm interested in such and such." And I say, "Oh, well, you can just Google, you know, Baltimore Playhouse or Google different types of play." And they'll be like, "Oh, well, I was thinking you can help me." I don't know you to want to fucking help you. And I say, and if you want me to help you, you're going to pay. Because you're not just going to use me for your purposes. And then, of course, they disappear. Anytime you mention money, they disappear. If you want me to teach you something, that's a fucking job. And so, even when I was younger than I am now, people would gravitate to me for the things that I knew that they didn't know that they wanted to learn, or they had problems in their life. And they're like, "Oh, wow, she can help me fix this." First of all, if I'm going to help you fix it, we ain't going to be in no type of relationship. You're going to be a client and you're going to pay my fee. And so, like, you're not going to just use me and then get what you want and then just go. And so when people want stuff from you, it's not always sexual stuff. But I'm like, I am not here to fix your life. I am not here as your gateway to the alternative community. This eye is tearing upward. I am not here for that. You got it twisted, buddy. Like, nah. You want me to teach you? You're going to pay my fee. And that's why I had paying clients before. If somebody really do want to learn something, they will pay to learn. So I did used to have clients from the alternative community because it was stuff that they wanted to learn or stuff they wanted to explore. And it was cool. But you ain't just want to just sneak in and think. This eye is still tearing upward. I can feel it. Yeah, no, I don't let people use y'all. Nope. I'm going to take, I don't think this is going to work though. I'm going to take this smudger brush. I am not a fan of pulling my eyes, but if I don't, it's only going to just move my skin. I want to blend this out a little bit. Girl, it don't matter because you're going to put shadow on top of it. I know. So it's different reasons that people may be drawn to you. But the thing is, like, am I drawn to you in return? Like, this is not going to be one-sided unless you pay me. Because then you're a client. But this is blending out some, which is good. So I'm just putting this nudge inking, bringing it to a point as much as possible. The MAC does dry down pretty quick. I wish this eye would stop tearing because I could feel it. And I could feel it going upward into the crease. But because it's a shimmer shade, it's not really that noticeable. But I can still feel it. So we're just going to pack a little bit more shadow. Right there. And because we did that side, I'm going to just put a little bit more on the other side. That wasn't the right color. This color. They're similar colors. Okay. I do like both of these though. Skinny Queen, where's she at? Oh, there she is. We're having a conversation about all kinds of stuff. And then they end up resenting your independence. Sonya, you are not lying. Yeah. Yeah, I be like, my name is not Eliana. Like, you better watch her show. Hey, Skinny Queen, how you doing tonight? And you can't. They have to want to change. Even for therapy clients, if they don't want to change, it ain't going. It doesn't matter what we do. It ain't going to work. They have to really want it, because it is work to change, and that's why a lot of people don't, because it's hard work, and people don't want to. Even though people are quick to say, "Oh, I'm not perfect," but yet they act like they are. And so, if you really believe you're not perfect, then how about putting in some effort into changing things that you said you know you need to improve at? But no, you want to stay the same. Okay, then come back when you want to really work, because changing yourself is work. And one person can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. They can help you and encourage you and guide you and lead you. But as far as the actual internal work, only that person can do that for themselves. Exactly. Yep, that is not my name. Yeah, Jan, exactly. And what's so ironic, I told you I married the same type of dude twice. And I used to say I married the same dude twice. And they'd be like, well, why did you remarry him? And then I had to change what I say. Just like $2.99 versus $2.99. I had to change how I said it. Like, no, I married the same type of dude twice. Because they were like, why did you remarry him then? And that's oh my gosh. I'm excited and nervous about that, Skinny Queen. Because I know she's going to nail my look and probably be bored as hell doing it. But I'm like, can I capture her essence? So both marriages, I'm going through the chat. Both marriages Yeah, food. Yeah, that was. I really like this blend up here. This one is looking a little. So we're going to take my favorite brush for that purpose. We're going to do two. We're going to do the other side just because. Two of these. This side, I'm loving it, but we're just going to feather lightly, just temporarily, because we're going to do the other side. So we're just making sure everything is the same, because these are two different eye looks. These are two different palettes, Skinny Queen. One is Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. The other one is, I really like this. Do I want to even do a brow bone highlight? Like, this is nice. And the other one is the MAC Color Excess. No, the other one is MAC Connecting Color Hi-Fi palette. So these are two different palettes, one on each eye. I'm really digging this. Like, I really dig this. But this, y'all see the space there? That's what I'm talking about that I don't really like. Both marriages, I didn't work at first. The first one, he was in Long Island. And I met him when I was going to Long Island University for my bachelor's. And so we had talked about moving in together and then getting married. And so when I first moved up there, I ain't know nobody but him and his family. I ain't had no job. I ain't had no car. I ain't had no money. And so we got an apartment together. And so I wasn't working. I ain't have shit. And even if I, like, even finding a job, like, I need a way to get there. I didn't have a car. When things turned around and I did get a job, when I started working, that's when things started changing. And then we had bought a house. And I ended up working 2 jobs because I told y'all both of them was piss poor with money. I started working 2 jobs because I'm like, I don't know how not to pay a bill. Well, I don't want you to work 2 jobs. You're going to be stressed out. Well, I'm stressed because bills need to be paid. Like, one of us got to do something. It was just, oh, it'll work itself out. How? Where's this money coming from? Like, how? And I think I didn't work for like 6 months for the first marriage. When I started working, shit changed. Attitudes changed. This eye is still tearing upward, starting to make a little crease right there. And so the second one, I went through 2 hubs who were not the same, but both, swore off. Yeah, and I had told my dad, I'm like, I ain't doing this again. And then when he told me his story, I said, you know what, Dad? I might. But I need to figure out my shit. I need to figure out why I picked the same type of dude. So I knew that was a me thing. I'm gonna take this shade here. And I'm like, I need to figure this out so I don't pick him again. So that was a me thing. So even if somebody's an asshole, why did we pick that asshole? So it's still on us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got divorced because he was this, he was that. Well, you had a part too. Not saying you did anything wrong, but you still made a choice. I made a choice, to marry that person. So why? Why did I choose that person? And so after the second one, I'm like, I need to sit down and figure this out because, maybe I will do it again, but I need to figure this out so I don't marry the same type of guy the third time. Because that would just that's insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. So the second one, I didn't work for, I think it was like 9 months. And I had money. I was getting my VA disability. What other money I had coming in? And we had I had sold my house and we had used that money to fix up his house. And so I did have a little bit of money, like not anything life changing, but it was enough to be comfortable and not work for a little while. And when I started working, y'all, everything changed. I was just like, and when I thought about it, both of them growing up, their moms, the first one, his mom didn't work at all. The second one, his mom worked, but she had a daycare, but it was in the house. And so both of them moms were always home. And so when I started going to work, they were just like, okay, this isn't whatever. And they both said the same thing to me in the same exact way. They both said to me, I just want you to be my wife. And I said, I've been your wife since I stood up there at the altar and said I do. So what do you mean you want me to be your wife? I am your wife. And what I realized was I wasn't their definition of what a wife was, because their definition of a wife was based on how their mothers were. And I had told them both, you're not your dad and I'm not your mom. So our marriage is not going to be like that. But when I started working, that's when the shift happened. And I started working 2 jobs in my second marriage too, because they were both piss poor with money. Bills coming late. I'm just like, listen. And it really got bad when I started working 2 jobs because, like, okay. And back in the day, I'm thinking how women didn't even work. They were just stay-at-home moms. Like, both of their moms were. But yet, bills was getting paid because dad was hustling and working his ass off. Y'all want to be lazy motherfuckers. Bills late, so one of us got to do something. So I'm a man up. Get a damn second job. What are you talking about? I'm going to do correct. I had a type and yup. What does she... Let's see, when I'm in a relationship, I have to slip up and say I don't act shocked. Nobody's perfect. I'm just going to get my take and say. What does she want you to pin? Can I pin your comment? I'm just going to give my take and say when I'm in a relationship and I have a slip up, I say don't act shocked. Nobody's perfect. I agree with that. We repeat until we learn, exactly, until we learn the lesson. And luckily, the DV situation, I learned the first time. Yep. Because some keep going back and back and back and back. So was that your comment you were talking about, Skinny Queen? Because I saw you did write it again. Yeah. I'm just going to give my take and say when I'm in a relationship and I have a slip up. Yeah, don't act shocked. Nobody's perfect. But some people... Oh, okay, that is true. Yeah, and people say, "Oh, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect." But then when something happens, they act like they never did anything wrong in their life. They don't need to change for anybody. First of all, don't change for anybody. Change for yourself, for you to be a better person. For yourself, not for anybody else. All right, I'm looking in these palettes again. Did we use... No, we didn't do that. All right, let's do this color for underneath. Yeah, people will be like, "Oh, I know I'm not perfect." But yet they act like they never made a mistake, or even if they did, they don't own up to it and they blame shit on other people. So yeah, you say you ain't perfect, but you acting like you believe that you are. But yeah, but when I started working, boy, the shift happened. And I did the same thing with the second that I did with the first. When I got a second job, I got a second account because everything was joint. When I got that second job, I got a second account because I'm like, you're not going to destroy this account like you're doing our current ones because you're already not paying shit. Bills is coming late. Blah, 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 blah. Hell no. And shit got thick. You got your own money. Well, listen, motherfucker. Listen. And for the second one, I was getting my VA disability. That comes once a month. My job paid every 2 weeks. My second job paid every 2 weeks. So I'm bringing in 5 paychecks a month. Hell yeah, I'm getting a second account. All of this ain't, no. So you can, run through that too. And we still have bills that ain't paid. Hell no. Fuck that. Y'all, they hit the roof. In a subtle, passive-aggressive way. But I'm just like, nah. And the first one, he's like, well, I want to go to school full-time and work part-time. And I'm like, you need to work full-time and go to school part-time. He was like, well, you just work full-time and that's it. I said, but I bring in like 3 checks a month. You bring in... No, you won't go to work full-time. Because we did separate for a long time. And then when I went active duty, we decided to try to reconcile. So he was in my position that I was in the first time. Like just moving down here. He did have a car, though. But he didn't have a job. But he's like, oh, I just want to work part-time, go to school full-time. I'm like, no, you need to flip that. Well, you go to school full-time and you work. Yeah, and I bring in such and such. What do you bring? And that's when I knew that one wasn't going to work. Because I'm just like, okay, this reconciliation ain't going to work because you still have those ways. And that ain't cutting it, Kirby. So one eye is Natasha Denona Circo Loco. The other eye is MAC. We're going to put on luminous light. We're not going to do bronzer and all of that stuff. Hey, Haywood. People get me with that joint account crap. You have a household account, but I'm going to have my own account. And at first I didn't. I was heavily under the influence of religion. The man works, the man pays the bills. Well, we're already backwards because I'm working too and I'm bringing in more money than him. But I can't have my own. Hell no. When I got this second job, I also got a second account. Because you're not going to destroy and run through this money and we still don't have bills paid. I'm like, no. So it was really me who was supporting the households because they were not good at managing money. So I'm like, you ain't going to take all of this too. And then the second one, I did learn a little something. I'm like, okay, we sat down and looked at the bills. I'm like, hey, you'll be responsible for this one and this one and this one and this one. And I'll be responsible for this one and that one. And we both share joint responsibility for the mortgage. Because I'm just like, nope. No, sir, ma'am, sir. We are not. Then you just find what the part right after that. Okay, wait a minute. Mozzarella sticks. I haven't had them in a long time. I like the skinny ones. There's one place, they were like this thick. And I'm just like, this thing, the hell? So wicked and deranged. What did I miss? Janet. Oh, no. Janet. That's horrible. What? I'm glad you made it through, Janet. Hey, sweetheart. You make my night, Haywood. And where's the first? She said, I just thought if I never hit you. Oh, fuck that. It's And some people think that, getting hit, that's the only type of abuse. No, there's more types of abuse than that. I'm glad you made it through, Janet. I really am. Skinny like that while I'm beating my mozzarella sticks. Yeah, that would kind of mess me up with mozzarella sticks too right now. Skinny queens. Yeah, that is deranged. That is straight deranged. That's bona fide crazy. Need to be assessed and analyzed and put into an institution. That's that kind of crazy. Damn. Yeah, that's but they love you. And they do. They really do love you, but their concept of love is way different than our concept of love and how you show love to people. Right, you can keep that kind of love. Yeah, and he was the sweetest person. So some of them, they're like them sleeper cells. Everything perfect. And then one day you'd be like, wait, who the fuck? What, excuse me? What the fuck is that? What color eyeliner do I want to use from Upper Lash Line? I do really like both of these looks. Should I be simple? We're going to just put on Midnight Snack. We're going to be simple. We're going to be simple. Yeah, some of them are sleeper cells. It's like everything cool, and then one day something happened. It's like, who are you? Like when they say, like, one day I woke up, I didn't know who you were. It'd be one of them situations. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, did they feed you after midnight? Like, what the? This is Midnight Snack fluid line from MAC. And why am I going to put this end in there? I need to use the brush end, Dion. Okay. Midnight Snack is a gray, as you see. We're going to put this on our upper lash line. Yeah, yep. I got that nice little creased patch for my eyes tearing up. Well, just this one. Yeah, they be like, yeah, people. And I believe they do love us in their own warped way, but it's just not the kind of love that we want, the way, because it's like, no, you're not going to bash my brain in every second Friday, and then you love bomb me the rest of the week, and I'm like, oh, he really does love me. He bought me flowers. Go fuck them flowers. And unfortunately, it does work, because that's what they know. And it's like, if I leave, what's going to happen? I know every Friday he's going to get drunk and he's going to hit me. And I know by Tuesday he's going to be begging me to stay and tell me how much he loved me. Like, that's the pattern. They know that pattern. If you leave and you're on your own, it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? Where am I going to go? Is anybody going to still be here to support me? So it's just this whole train of thought that happens. Yep, that can only last for so long. Yeah, the gaslighting. I've learned how to gaslight gaslighters. Like that dude I told y'all I read up and down, left and right. And he wrote me back like, that's a lot to process. And then like 3 weeks went by and he asked me to meet him out for dinner. And I'm like, I don't think that would be a good idea for me to go out to dinner with you, considering every time I have seen you, I lose sleep. And because apparently me being sleepy and not talking a lot was a problem for you, I don't think it would be a good idea for me to meet you out at dinner. So that's how you gas a gaslighter. You give them their shit back, but make it seem like it's you. Because you're going to have a problem with me being sleepy. It's not a good idea for me to go. I don't think it's a good idea for me to go. So that's how you do that. And it's really sad because then and the way they hear it is, okay, she doesn't think it's going to be a good idea because she's going to be sleepy. They don't hear the part of, because you had an issue that I was sleepy last time and not talkative. Like they hear what they want to hear. But I haven't heard from him since until he messaged me about some lady on Facebook on her face done. I said, well, she would have to go to my website. And that was the end of that. So no, you ain't creeping back in. I never thought I'd tolerate abuse either, skinny, but you never know. Yeah, sometimes you just don't know. We live and hopefully we learn. If my husband ever treated me like that, I would have pulled it, Dion. Excuse me. But it was a learning lesson for me too, because I was younger and wanting to be a good Christian wife, blah blah blah, and looking at their parents' marriage. It was, even if the wife wasn't happy, like she still did what he said, and I was just like, I can't picture living my life not being content with myself, who I am in this relationship. And that's what it came down to with the second marriage. I was like, we're going to use this one. This is Elevated Max Stack Mascara. Even when I found out for sure that he was cheating, and he had long moved into the guest bedroom, so we were just housemates at that part. We would pass each other in the kitchen downstairs. Minimal conversation. And I had told him, well, we need to go to therapy to figure out like what's wrong, what's going on with you, or if you're missing something from me. Because I wasn't above, okay, maybe he's missing something from me and that's why he's dipping out or whatever. But he didn't want to go. And then when he did agree to go, he wasn't investing himself. He would just sit there and be closed off. Or he would just have like an outburst, and the therapist looking at me like, and I'm like, yeah. And a couple of times the therapist would say, is this how he is at home? I'm like, exactly. This is how he's acting right now, and this is how he acts at home. And so even the therapist was like, this motherfucker. But it still took me 2 years to decide to leave. When I found out for sure he was cheating, and my mindset was, and still is, if something goes wrong, I need to have a clear conscience that I tried everything I could to make it work. I don't want to leave and be like, well, what if I would have did this? Or what if, no. And so it took me 2 years to decide to leave. He didn't want to invest in therapy. He would go but not open up. And what it came down to was, I decided I'm not going to live a lie. Because we were still going to church together. And he would sing solos every now and then. And everything on the outside, looking in, was great. And I know women who their marriage is for shit. Because I know them personally. But if you don't know them, you would be like, oh, wow, they have such a wonderful marriage. And so what it came down to was, I'm not going to live a lie. I'm not going to act like everything is perfect and put on this smile, knowing that it's not like this at all. And so that's what it came down to. And having done everything I could think to do, if you don't want to be a part of making this better, then what am I doing here? I'm just spinning my wheels, being miserable. So that's what it ended up being for me. But yeah, it took me, and then I'm like, okay, Christian woman, divorced twice, that's not a good look, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, I'm not going to be that woman that lives a lie. And so after 2 years, I was like, yeah, no, there's nothing else I could think to do. And you're not doing anything. You don't care to do anything. You want to keep saying you're not perfect, but you're not putting in any effort to be any different. And I do think 2 years was enough time. Like, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why with that one, I wouldn't give up my experiences. I wouldn't either, Janet. I wouldn't. People ask me sometimes, like, if you can change anything, what would you change? Nothing. I wouldn't change a damn thing. Because it all molded me into who I am today. And the lessons that I learned. You know what I mean? And being a clinician, like, people say stuff, like, deep down, I'm like, yeah. Yeah. This is a long time ago. I hadn't figured out who I was. Exactly. We have to grow into who we are. I wanted a relationship to work so badly, and I knew the only one I can control. Exactly. And that's how it came down to. I can only control me. Haywood, take your time, boo. Everybody want to be married, but unhappily unloved. X. And I don't even care if I ever get married again. Like, I really don't. Because it doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee you're going to be happy. It doesn't guarantee bills are going to get paid. It doesn't guarantee they're not going to cheat. It doesn't guarantee anything. So it's like, just give me a solid commitment. And when things go wrong, we both work towards fixing it. I'm cool with that. Yeah, so I really don't aspire to be. I mean, if it happens and I feel that way, then yeah. But no. And you can do power of attorneys. And so it don't even have to be like, well, we need to get married so one of us die, you know, the house automatically goes to the other one. It don't have to be that either. Get your power of attorney and just have your paperwork in order. You learn to cut your losses. I learned also to articulate my non-starters in relationships. Thank goodness. Yep. And both of those marriages, I left the house. I'm like, peace of mind is priceless. You can have this material shit. You can add this material shit. People are like, oh, if he was wrong, you should have stayed in the house. Fuck. You can have this 2,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. I'm just by myself. I don't need all that. Like, hell no. And the yard work, fuck that. The roof had leaks. He could fix that. Nah, you can have boundaries and balance, said Tanya. Material stuff is just that, material stuff. I feel so out of place in this conversation. I feel so bad to try to. But the thing is, Skinny Queen, what you said, that we went through that. We went through. We're not in that anymore. We learned from it. We grew from it. And, you know, I'm still a little off, as y'all know. But when you see our comments and hear me speak, like, this is where we are today. We are not that same person that we were back then. And so it's okay. It is okay. These are experiences. Like Jan is saying, these are experiences we had. These are things we went through, meaning we're not there anymore. And so it is okay. It is okay. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. And it does say something about who we are as people when we can have these conversations. Because some people will not talk about it. Oh, yeah, our marriage was bad. I don't want to talk about it. And it's like, why? You made it through. You made it through. You're still here. You're doing okay. So why not talk about it? Because your experience may help somebody else. All right, lip. So do y'all have an idea of what this side is? We're going to do number 1 and number 2. If number 1 is Mac or Natasha, or if number 2 is Mac or Natasha. And I'm going to think of a lip to put on. I haven't worn this one in a long time. This one is the unseen one. This is that bold red. I don't know. But then Circo Loco in color, hi-fi color. We're going to put this on. The first thing I grab, we're going to put it on. Yeah, it's stuff that we made it through. And some people don't make it through. Like, think of all the people who end up, like, in a mental institution or end up in the grave. You know what I mean? We made it through. You may not be able to relate, but just being available to someone going through it, listening, not judging, offering help when they already goes a long way. Yeah. A lot of people left. They're like, this is too heavy for me. This was supposed to be a makeup channel. They talk about what? Yeah. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. This is so pretty. So guesses. Look number 1, which palette is that? This is look number 2. Which palette is this on this side? Yo, this lip. Oh my gosh. Do you have this one, Janet? This is the unseen one. It was Supernova that I saw you in one of your pictures. And when I put it on, I'm like, it ain't look this bold on Janet. But it was like a bold, shimmery red. Number 1 is ND, says Tanya. She's saying this side is Natasha. What do y'all think? Ooh. I did get a case for my lippies, so when I pick up one, they all don't fall over. They do slip sideways. Where is Supernova? Yes, this one is unseen. What the hell? Am I tripping? Where did... I know I have Supernova. Did I get rid of it? This is bugging me, y'all, because I know I have Supernova. Yes, peace of mind is priceless. And I'll tell y'all this too, since I'm telling y'all everything else about my business. Oh, this is Supernova. Red wine Supernova. When I left that house, it was a mix-up date between when they were going to deliver my bedroom set. I thought it was supposed to be delivered the day I left. But they had it down for the next day. So I slept on my sofa. And that next morning when I woke up, I was just like, whew. And I remember thinking, damn, this is what it feels like. It was just so peaceful and like just so quiet and just, I was like, wow. Like I really was like, wow, like this is how it should have been. Peace of mind is priceless. I woke up feeling so good. I was like, damn. It was really trippy too, as if all of that isn't. People that know I'm polyamorous, I wasn't in my marriages because I'm trying to be the good Christian wife, right? They were like, why didn't y'all just have an open marriage? I said, well, you got to be honest if you're going to be open. And because they both kept lying about cheating, how do you have an open marriage when one of them keep lying? It's impossible. Yeah, but that was really just like, yeah, we could have just been an open marriage. But that requires honesty. And the second one didn't want to be honest. Again, the first one I wasn't sure. I just had my suspicions. The second one I knew for sure. I had receipts. I knew where she worked. I knew her address. I did a drive-by at her house. I knew her tag number on her car. I knew the school her kids went to. And he was still denying it. So you can't have open marriage if one of them want to keep lying. But that would have been it. Yeah, I just have open marriage. Just let me know you seeing so-and-so. And at that point, we weren't sexually intimate at all. So you look, you can do whatever you want because that's not affecting my health. This is crooked right here. Y'all like, Dion, your whole lip is crooked. I know. So we're going to leave it like this. I love this color. Dion knew all the lore. And that's what made it so freaking stupid, Skinny Queen. I had receipts. And he was still denying it. I'm like, I know where they would go to dinner. I know when they would meet. I knew it all. And he still was lying about it. And people were like, And even our Bible study class, turns out me and her were in the same Bible study class. And they knew, because the job I had, every 3 months I would have to travel for like 3 or 4 days. And so if I missed Bible study, when I would come back, they would be like, oh, were you away last week? And I'd be like, why are they in my business? That's when they would spend more time together is when I was going. So I'm just like, other people do. Other people do too. But I'm just like, well, anyway. But silently watching Workbound. Yeah, it was crazy. But it's okay that we've been through there because we went through. That's the thing. And I tell people, if you're going through, keep going. Don't stop and get stuck, which a lot of people do. You think number 1 is Mac. Said, let me see. Okay, Tanya says this is Natasha. Janessa thinks this one is Mac. Not sure though. Both of these looks is bomb though, right? Look at my face shape. Like, what? Did I need to contour that? Yo, my face, I be like, what the hell happening? Both of these looks, I do like both of these looks. Yeah, this is the unseen. It is pretty. And it's dual chrome. So like it'll look like it's black in some places. Like from this angle, it looks like the interior is black and this side looks darker. But then when you turn, this is nice. This is nice. So this is what it looks like on my pale ass hand. So you see that gray black in there? Oh man, look at that. That's so pretty. So pretty. Yeah. I love this because I know I like a black lipstick, but then that red is like that vampy, and then it being that metallic. Oh man. All right, let me get this off of here before I forget. So any other guesses? Any other guesses? You'll be thinking, since Janessa is doubling down. Honestly, I don't see the difference to Skinny Queen, but that might be because I don't have my glasses on. They are similar. And the differences that I see, it could just be lighting. Because this looks not as bright as here. And this looks more blue than over here. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm going to put my thing. This eye is still tearing. Nice little crease pocket. Oh! Garnier, cotton pad. Clean this off my hand. So any other guesses? Tanya's still sticking to this being Natasha. Show you the golds. I can't show you the golds until I show y'all the palettes. If I show y'all the palettes, y'all go to know. I made a decision once the golds went on. Yeah, I remember you saying it too, Tanya. You like, I think I know what it is. So these are the golds. Or gold dishes. Gold dishes. Is that a word? You can see that nice little crease where my eye was tearing. And those are the blues, greens on the ends, purple on lower lash line, pink under the brow. All right, so any other guesses before I got loud? The golds tell, says Janet. So Janet, what side is number one? Is this Mac or Natasha? Tanya says this is Natasha. Janessa thinks this is Mac. So what do you say? Come on, Janet. Which one is Natasha? Circo Loco. On which side is Mac? Color. No, it's not. Mac. Connecting color. Just show the make a choice, Janet, and I'll show you. And I got all these brushes to wash. Pick one, Janet, so then I can show y'all. These are all the. Pick one, Janet, and then I'll show y'all. This is gonna go in the kitchen to get washed, and this one, and the foundation and the concealer palette, and the eyeliner palette. Best guess, Janet. Janet, come on now. Damn it, Janet. I love this lippy. Oh man, I love this lippy. Our colorful queen. Okay, hey Justin. So Janet, come on, Janet, play along. Be a nice official trollkin. Come on now. I like how we can have these conversations and still be lighthearted and joke about makeup. Like this is the life right here, y'all. Janet really ain't gonna pick one. So we got one for Natasha over here and one for Mac over here. Janet, be the tiebreaker. Come on. Be nice. Play along. Hello. How are you? You have both palettes. So which side do you think is which? Do you think number one is Natasha or Mac? And do you think number two? Well, you can just do it that way. This is the number one eye. Do you think number one is Natasha or Mac? You'll be the tiebreaker since Janet don't want to play nice right now. And I thought to do this a long time ago, but I just never got to it. I don't even know what palette you use. Janet. Circo Loco from Natasha Denona. And the MAC Connecting Color High Five palette. Skinny is saying... Skinny Queen speaking for you, saying that the number... This is MAC. Okay, well, I'm going to just say it. So Skinny Queen, what side do you think is which side? Speaking for yourself and not for Janet. Yeah, that was a deep conversation. But doing makeup while talking about it made it a whole lot easier. Because that was a lot of shit. That was a lot of shit. We done went from cat hair on food to glitter on the legs in the car to fucked up marriages. And I love that we can have these conversations. Okay, so Skinny Queen. Somebody be a tiebreaker so I can show y'all the palettes and then we can get out of here. Y'all just want to hear me keep talking. Somebody, come on now. Alright, so number 1 is MAC. Alright, so we have 2 for this is MAC. And 1 for this is Natasha Denona. 2 for this is MAC. And 1 for Natasha Denona. So I'm going to show y'all both the palettes. And then I'm going to tell y'all which is where. I love these beauty face-offs for this reason. And this is tearing over here. Because it is close. It is close. There is differences, but it's like, which one is it? And I think we have 3 or 4 more. So these, y'all hear me trying to pick both of these up. So these are what the palettes look like. It fell and almost on the leg. I know I told y'all before I'm clumsy and uncoordinated. So up top is Natasha Denona. The bottom is Hi-Fi Color from MAC. So we have 2 saying this side is MAC. This side is MAC. Which means this side is Natasha Denona. Tanya knew when I put the golds on. So the first shade, yep, this side is MAC. And this side is Natasha. They close though, right? This is that first shade we put in here. And I put this shade here. This is definitely not as bold as this one. So this was the first shade. This was the second shade. And then I believe we put either the green. I think we used the green or the blue. When I look here, it looks purple. Underneath lower lash line, we put this shade. For under our brow bone, we put this shade. So that's how we did that. And I was mixing this over top of this to try to get it more bright and more bold. And this is the blue that we use from here, and this is that hot pink that we use from there, and that purple. Yeah, y'all. ND for the gold for the win. It was brighter when I put it on. I was like, and I knew, because I know this shade Grin is bold. And when I first put it, I'm like, and I'm like, yeah. So even looking at Natasha is more bold. But yeah, so I do like both the looks though. Surprisingly though, when I was saying I like the blend over here better than how this side was, I'm like, damn, this is the MAC side. And I'm like, this is better. So I did have to do extra work up here for blending, but I was just kind of like, why is that looking like that? So performance wise, they are equal. And I did use the same brushes and all that, but it was kind of like, why I like how this blended and this side I didn't. I was just like, what? But yeah, so this is what they look like. So if this is your kind of look with gold, oranges, blues, purples, pinks, you got choices. What I like about the matte color excess, this was fun to Jen, and now that I played properly, is this has a matte black. This is carbon. But also what I don't like is this is chrome yellow. It do not pick up, it do not put down. This don't, it's just there to look bold. So this does give you options with this palette. This is that dual chrome that we love, that red to green burgundy that we love. This palette, what I don't care for is both of these look exactly the same on me. This one is a matte, this one is a metallic, but when I put them on, they look exactly the same, and they're both barely there because you see is in line with my complexion. And so they both have pluses and minuses. But yeah, they both inspire me because they are so colorful, and it does cause me to think of what can I do a little different than I usually do, even though we did still do light to dark. So these are what they both look like. I stood alone and stood my ground. Tanya. Yeah, because you was over there by yourself. But you knew them golds. You knew that gold. Yeah, and you said it right away, like, okay, I know which one it is already. I think MAC is a better lay. I'm going to take that as eyeshadow placement. I know what you mean. But yeah, the blend over here was cool. And this side, I'm like, okay, let me take this brush and like, you know, blend out up top like I do. But yes, I was kind of surprised at that though, because I was like, what? But it had to have been user error, but because I usually don't have issues with Natasha's. That was fun. Can I switch my answer? You cannot switch your answer. We are done, Kenny. Stood alone and stood around. Yep. Thank you, y'all, for this. And I'm excited for the next few that we have. They're already scheduled. And so the title will be changed. This will be Vlogmas #1. So all of our beauty face-offs this month, with which are already scheduled, will be our Vlogmas videos. Because some people do just like search for Vlogmas videos. I don't know why. But so I'm going to play along with that. I'm looking for the paper that was in here. That plastic thing. But anyway. So thank you, Rhonda. How are you tonight? Yeah, and I do really like both looks though. And this lip, the lip plays into the Circo Loco color story, and it also plays into this color story too. So yeah, these, I don't know which one I would recommend. For cost purposes, it would be the MAC when they have a sale, or when there's a 20% off coupon that includes Prestige at Ulta. Because this is a lot less expensive than Natasha. But also Natasha is a lot bigger and you got more product. And they both last for years and years and years and years. So I don't even know which one I would recommend. Comes down to your formula preference, but they both work fine. So like I can't even say which I would recommend. Still waiting for y'all to call me. Call for me making your first request. I think I scheduled it. Didn't I schedule it already? Clap, not call. Oh, clap for her. Y'all funny. So I did write it down. We're not going to get into that because I feel like I'm starting to just babble now. But I'm pretty sure I did schedule it. I did schedule it already. It's already scheduled as a live stream. Next weekend will be Michelle and Makeup, her look. And then the following Tuesday will be Skinny Queen's look. For members to see my stash, that's going to be done on the 21st. That was the majority vote. And so you guys will see all the palettes I have. For when you do shop my stash, you'll already know what I have. And if you want to pick palettes during that live stream, you can do that as well. For those who don't know, members get to make requests on my channel. Membership is $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time, and there are other perks, but that's my favorite one, them getting to shop my stash and make requests on what they want to see. And so, yeah, that'll be on the 21st, usual time, because y'all were like, just stay consistent, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so that'll be it. So thank you, y'all, for being here. Thank you for those who popped in. Thank you for Replay Crew. You know, y'all rock. And thank you to those who came later in the chat that circled back around to see the application, even though if you're here right now, you already know, like, which is where. Don't do it, I'm broke. Yeah, I can't even say which one I would recommend. I really can't, because sometimes I am able to, but I like them both equally. I love them both equally. And so we're going to go. I had called it before. You're passionate, intelligent. Yep. Since we. Yep. So we're going to go. Thank you, y'all. I think we have a video going up tomorrow. Damn. Monday is the live with Janessa. And she's going to be here on my channel for us to do each other's looks. So I'm going to have to pull out clips for that wig. Y'all saw that wig is a lot of hair. But so we're gonna go. I'm babbling. Thank you for playing along. Those that did, Janet, not played along, but that's okay. I still love you, girl. We're gonna go. Yeah, I'm nervous about it. Your style swap. I'm nervous about it. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the wig because I was listening to your video. I'm doing one of my wake ups, and Janessa was saying. I'll most likely be Jim because she had the pink hair, but she don't know if I'm going to wear it for the style swap or not. And I'm thinking not now that I think about it, because your wigs are not the long, yours are usually, so I don't think that would be a swap. But we'll see. So I might just to play with it, even though I could play with it on my own time, but y'all know when I play with makeup or whatever, I do that with y'all. Damn it, Janet. Yep. Don't call me. But Rhonda, how does eyeshadow last all day? For like, it lasts until I take it off. The only time I have issue is my eyes tear. This one is tearing upward, so that's why there's this crease right here, because it's wet from my tears. But for me, Mac and Natasha, they last until I take it off. And sometimes I'll have on makeup for like 10, 11, 12 hours and it still look fresh. And so I don't know if it's the primer I use or whatever. I don't know. But some people do get fading. But I don't have issues with fading or anything unless it's tearing, because then you see how that looks in there, like in this front part. But that's an eye teariness thing, not an eyeshadow thing. But yeah, they last for me. All the palettes I have now, I don't have any issue with any of them not lasting, like none of them. So I don't know. But we're gonna go. Thank you, y'all, and thank you for popping in, Rhonda. I appreciate it. And Haywood, I always appreciate you being here, and everybody else. And you will see me soon, as always. Self-acceptance, self. Can I speak? Girl, self-acceptance and self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon. And Tanya says she's doing Vlogmas, so make sure y'all check out her channel too. Make sure you check out Janet on Instagram. Make sure y'all check out Janessa, for real. She'll be here. I'm looking through the chat. Check out Grace's channel and Sons of Ray. And you can just click on their name to get to their channel. And Locke, of course, does amazing looks. And so, yeah, we're really going to go, y'all, because I am seriously babbling and I need to fix lunch. So, we're going to go. Bye, everybody. Have a good day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. And you will see me soon. Bye. So, he looks as bomb.